Yeah.
Hi, how are you all? I'm sorry we got a little delayed because we are having some internet issues. But today we are going to be talking about something which is very close to my heart, so I'm wearing hearts all over me. And what we are really going to be talking about is about exercise, and much more than exercise, about structured exercise. And the reason why we are going to be talking about exercise is because everything that we've been doing over the last 5 weeks is building towards this moment of exercise. हम लोग हमेशा ढूंढते रहते हैं और वेट करते रहते हैं for the good time to start exercise, but the good time to start exercise has already come. You know, I don't know about your wealth with the Sensex crashing and stuff like that, but this is the best time ever to start investing in your exercise, to start investing in your health. So first of all, what has happened is over the last 5 weeks, thanks to all the guidelines and the diligent efforts that you've taken to follow all of those guidelines, more than 8,000 of you have lost more than 1 inch from your waist. Isn't that amazing? Even before you begin with exercise, you have lost 1 inch from your waist just because you started your day with a fruit or soaked raisins or soaked almonds and not that cup of chai, just because you added ghee to at least 3 of your meals, just because you added a proper 4 to 6 p.m. meal, just because you started moving more, just because you regulated your gadget intake. Isn't that nice to just know that fitness is so holistic and not about kitna wazan hai, kitna kam hoga. So coming back to the point, this is all about exercise. Much more importantly, this is about strength training. And the reason why I'm talking to you about strength training is because as we get older, and we all get older, we may or may not get wiser, but we all start losing strength. We all get weaker with age. We lose almost about 2 to 4 kilos of muscle weight every 10 years, especially all of us women. You know, after we turn 30, we start losing our strength at a very, very fast pace. Now the thing is that when we lose muscle weight, we also begin to lose our bone weight. In fact, post 30, our thighs, we really start bulking up on our thighs, so our muscles actually shrink, and our intramuscular fat, especially around the thighs, really starts bulging out. That's how we all start getting broader, on our lower body. A lot of us make statements like, "Main upar se I can wear a small size, but niche I'm a double XL." All that is thanks to this fast pace of loss of strength. So our strength loss is very progressive. And by the time, in the age of 50 to 70, and don't worry, even if you're not 50 or 70, you will all get there, we will all get there, but hopefully we'll get there stronger and together. But otherwise, if you're not doing strength training, you can lose almost up to 30% strength between the ages of just 50 to 70, which means that it gets difficult even to lift about 4 or 5 kilos. But it need not be like this. You can change it. This loss of strength, loss of bone tissue is reversible only if you start strength training. So strength training के बाकी बहुत सारे फायदे हैं, but I'm going to list out a few important ones. If you have diabetes, you should surely start strength training. If you have diabetes anywhere in the family and you're worried कि आपको भी genetically आ जाएगा, then with just 1 day of strength training you can prevent that. And if you're already diabetic, then you can, just 1 day of strength training will help you reduce the doses, and if you do it consistently enough, even maybe get off the medication. If you have period trouble, if you have breakouts on the skin, if you're menopausal, weight training will specially help you because it will put all your hormones in a great state of balance. If you have arthritis pain, or if you have high uric acid levels, then strength training will reduce your arthritic pain, and it will also help you reduce your uric acid levels. If you often get depressive thoughts about मेरा तो कुछ नहीं होने वाला है, तो फिर surely you should start weight training because it reduces depressive thoughts and it gives you good sleep. It will actually help you improve your sleep. If you ever walk with someone के जो के बहुत धीरे धीरे चलता है, then all that you have to do is get them to strength train, because just 1 day of strength training will increase the speed at which you're walking. Research is now saying that the speed at which you walk and the way you walk is actually linked to how well your brain is functioning. When the brain slows down, the speed at which you're walking also slows down. But again, that is reversible with just 1 day of strength training. So strength training के फायदे बहुत सारे हैं. You should all start strength training because that's really what your heart wants. That's really what you need to do to get even smaller and tauter and stronger. You basically need to get off the weighing scale and stand under the squat rack. That's what this whole guideline is all about. So here are the 3 categories that we more or less belong to. If you have never ever strength trained, well, start from now. Aapke achhe din aa gaye. Start with strength training at least once a week. You can begin with the beginners program from my book, Don't Lose Out Workout. It's a well listed out program. Look for a local gym, seek the appointment of an expert trainer, start them off on that beginner's plan, exactly in that same structure. The second category that you may belong to is, the first category, if you're diabetic, if you have heart disease, if you have knee problem, if you have back problem, you surely should start training at least once a week. Surely should start training with at least once a week. The second category is, you do it sometimes and sometimes you don't do it, because the friend is getting married or you have some presentation or you're just bored or you woke up late. Well, your time to get regular starts now. You have to weight train at least 2 times a week. If you have been regularly irregular, start this week with at least 2 times a week. Build it up, keep it up with 2 times a week over the next 6 weeks. This is especially important if you have thyroid, if you have PCOD, if you have menopause, or if you have endometriosis. So if you have any of these hormonal issues, start with strength training at least 2 times a week because it will really help improve your insulin sensitivity. And the third category is, if you're already regular, you're strength training more than 3 days a week, well done, shabash, I would love to meet you. And if you're already strength training more than 3 days a week, all that you do now is focus on intensity, drop the rep range, keep it to between 5 to 8 reps for every set, because what really makes a difference to the strength of your muscles is the kind of load that you get them to bear. All right, so those are the 3 broad categories. Get down to strength training, and I will see you next week. Stronger, fitter, leaner, prettier.
Okay, there are questions.
Now there are questions. There are many questions. So shoot.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you mean by strength training?
By strength training, I mean training in the gym. Training with a bar, training with a dumbbell, training on a machine, training on a resistance band, training with any piece of equipment that loads the muscle. Alright, so you will find much more detailed information on this if you read the strength training chapter on Don't Lose Out Workout. Also, what I will do is, all of next week I will release at least 1 exercise science fact every single day, so that it will really help you build a more resilient and solid workout, because सिर्फ workout करके काम नहीं चलता है. A solid, resilient, structured workout is what actually shows you the results.
How much time should we invest per week?
Per week, it will take you just about 20 or 30 minutes in strength training. That's all that is required.
Session.
Per session, it will only take you that much. Of course, total exercise investment should be about 150 minutes per week, but we will come to that in due time. Right now, if you do introduce strength training to your schedule once a week, 1 session will cost you between 20, on the higher side, 40 minutes.
And what about protein shake and everything?
What about protein shake and everything? Well, that is also there in detail, and Don't Lose Out Workout. I will also release a guideline based on that. And we'll also release an infographic which will explain everything to you about protein shakes and every other tiny question that you may have about exercise.
Last question.
Okay.
Can I do strength training at home, or is yoga strength training?
Well, yoga can also be taken as strength training, but only if your practice has really evolved. Can you strength train at home? Yes, but you will have to make sure that you're loading your muscles correctly. So
Advice to
so currently, yes, of course, if you join a gym, you have the ability then to train at your body weight, lesser than your body weight, more than your body weight. The gym has equipment which will let you choose the right load for the strength and limitations in your muscles and tendons and ligaments and joints. There is much more to exercise science than just calories in and calories out, and that's exactly what we are trying to share through the RD Fitness project of 2018.
Okay, will you be also telling us about food to eat before and after workouts?
Yes, I'll be telling you about food to eat. I'll also be telling you about the drink that you should be having before and after exercise. Way more details coming your way all of next week. Okay, thank you so much. Keep losing that fat, keep gaining that muscle, keep gaining that bone density. Don't forget to fill that form. That's very, very important for me. And now after this is done, we'll be releasing the forms, so just fill up all of your details. And I hope now you have the answers to why is it that after 30, when you're wearing your jeans, they just get stuck somewhere mid-thigh. Why are they not coming up? You now know that it's got to do with the gain in adiposity and the loss of muscle and bone tissue. On that note, bye bye, see you next week.